This looks like a job for the hero beard trimmer.
Bit of privacy, please, mate.
The hero beard trimmer leaves your balls silky and smooth. Make the switch today.
This autumn, Milwaukee Tool has you covered with a comprehensive lineup of pro-grade chainsaws and hatchets designed to tackle any cutting task with ease. No pull starts, no petrol fumes, no downtime for ongoing engine maintenance. Find your closest authorised trade partner today at milwaukeetool.com.au and experience the power and performance for yourself. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Beard Blade, Australia's largest online men's grooming company. With over 500,000 satisfied customers and their extensive range of products, from razors, beard oils, and shaving creams to skincare and hairstyling products, making them your one-stop shop for all your manly grooming needs. Make the switch today to Beard Blade. Righto, let's get into the show. We've just had a coffee there and, mate, you had a go at me because I carried on a bit, didn't I?
Oh, what was on your spoon? It was
Mate,
like,
there was pesto on my spoon
looked like grass.
next to me latte.
Not great. You didn't stir it, did you?
You wouldn't do that at the farm when I come around for a coffee?
No way. No, I would be having a beer. We wouldn't be having a coffee. Depends what time of the day it is. But
I asked a lot of the aces. We do the questions, obviously. There's a lot of questions coming about the beers, the celebrations. Let's get stuck right into it because we've played golf the other day and yesterday. Who won that?
are we talking? Can we bring like handicaps into it or not? I think you're a little bit better than a 23 handicapper, if I'm being totally honest. When you're on, you're parring it, you're having birdie putts, and you got 2 shots on every hole. I couldn't believe it. But you did win, 37 points. Yeah. Handicap will come in.
Shout out to Q.
Yeah, Q Golf Club. First time I was around the track, and they've gone through a bit of a the boys were telling us they've gone through a bit of a lean spell just with the weather, the conditions that went underwater and stuff over the last year. So it was good to see it in good nick yesterday.
It's in great nick. There's a lot going on, wasn't there?
Oh, there's a lot going on.
A lot of Cats fans, so they're getting around the big fella, and then there's just a lot going on. And then at the end, obviously, we went back to the clubhouse to watch our mates that were coming through, and there's a bit of carry on from one of the boys, Dano. He's sprung a few out to the wrong side of the field.
I haven't seen a ball hit like that at right angles off a tee ever in my life.
I hope Dane's listening because he's played with Cam Emmanuel and Jags, and we've watched one of our mates hit the ball further right than straight.
Yep. Yeah, a long way. It was one of those ones that could kill someone too. It was about 2-3 meters off the ground the whole way at right angles, just a real danger ball. And then the shot coming back was even worse. It's Nelly took Cammy's hat clean off his head in the bunker.
And while this is going on, 10 minutes. So while we're talking about this, this is one of our mates. We panned to him. He's carrying on like a pork chop, which we love. And Harley was the other mate that was playing. And we all just 20 minutes prior, we were having a putt. You were trying to sink a birdie putt to, I think it was to beat me on points, even though you smashed me because your handicap's lean. Tell everyone about what happened on the on the first.
It was, well, we were finishing the 18th, and it was like the first hole, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just over the back edge of the green. I've got me 50-degree wedge out, just a little bump and run, and you started filming me, saying, come on, put this in. I said, Tommy, I don't know if I'll put it in. It's a tough chip, but I will put it close. And I've hit it pretty well, and I'm thinking this is a chance to go in. And I look up at you, and you're no longer filming me. You're filming this groom and bride that have just launched their cart straight off the top of the bunkers, flipped it into the bunker. There's a few photos getting around. Incredible scenes, bit of a squealing going on. There's a bit of finger pointing, but that was happening on the last. So it was a bit of a day out there at Kew, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was a great day. It's a beautiful track. But can you imagine getting married at the golf course? Like, great effort.
Yeah.
Must love golf.
Must love it.
The Dale must love golf as well, do you think? Or how would that one go?
I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, it's, each their own, I guess.
When you eventually get married, would you ever would you want it at a golf course, or would Indy allow it?
She would if it was like Jack's Point or something over in Queenstown in New Zealand, but I don't know about down at Kew. Like, it is a great track, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the photos are unreal. I was laughing when you sent it through. There a couple of boys who are a little bit closer than us, and they've sent through some really nice photos, and I threw it up on my Instagram, had a bit of a laugh. There's been some feedback for the couple, but incredible scenes because it was actually rolled over. So here she is, like wedding dress and all, pushing the buggy back over onto all four wheels. Like, incredible. Great story.
Great story.
Great story.
And she looked amazing, and she had there was no wounds. It was the dress looked schmick, bit of sand, which is fine.
You get that up. Better than mud.
No mud, no red wine, laughing.
Yeah. We move on.
But yeah, great day, and it was good to get the chocolates picked up.
Oh, I missed that last part. It was a 2.5 footer.
Just on golf, like, mate, we were saying, like, how far do you think, or do you know, you hit off the tee?
No, I've never been.
You're so humble in that, and I'm like, mate, I'd love to be a caddy one day. I wouldn't say anything. Yeah. I'd just pump you up and tell you to go for bombs off the tee.
Yeah, no, you give me that confidence to really tee it up because I've been lacking that with the driver lately. I've gone back to the 4-iron, playing it safe, bit smarter around the course, but yesterday got the long stick out and started to stroke a couple down the middle. But I don't know. I've never been like, I haven't actually gone in and, you know how you do it on the in Drummond or something where they can actually measure it, or you get these little devices now that are on the tee and they can track it and see your ball, your swing speed and your ball speed and how far it goes. But I've never done it. Well, there was a few downwind yesterday, I'll say that much. But
it was downwind because when you're on a par 5 and you're 78 metres on your second shot, mate, and this is a very tough course as well.
Tight, yeah.
Tight,
tight
but
course.
like, it's no gimme. You were smoking them. I want to know how far you hit it.
I don't know. That was a good one yesterday, yeah.
Give me a rough end.
Oh, no, I don't know. I'm not good with numbers. I got no idea.
350?
I tell you what, the best thing about golf is, the hardest thing about golf is it's doesn't matter. Like, I was down there, fair enough, but I've then duffed a chip over the back of the green. I've then duffed another chip, and luckily I did sink the birdie putt, but I left myself 15, 20 foot to sink that, you know? Like, it was just, it's amazing how it can come back and get you golf. Here you are, just, you hit that one nice down the middle, then you hit another nice one, and you've actually putted it up.
Yeah, I've been
You're a big putter from even 40, 50 feet off the green.
Out there putts more. Like, I don't trust me pitch or me. I don't think I've got the clubs.
Cam Smith's good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's unreal. But
I don't mind a putt off the green.
You were good yesterday. I'll give it to you.
I was good at the end, but yeah, no one hits the ball like you, mate. I want to measure how far you can hit it.
We should do it someday. Yeah, I do only have the so the M2 is the drive I have, and it's I think it's like 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old now. So like, the new technology would be nice to have a swing at one day.
So you're telling me you got the old shaft?
I've got the old shaft. I've got people laugh at they're like, you got the M2. They're up to the M7 now or whatever it is, but and all the ones in between they bring out. It's interesting.
So I'm rocking with the Callaway, just the club set from 2015. I might need an upgrade as well.
Upgrade the irons. They're nice now. I need the driver.
You love your golf. And no, we're going to do that. We're going to measure. I want to measure how far you hit it, because I think, there's a few boys out there yesterday, and I think it was one of those holes where you went around another hole to get it onto the fairway. And it was a thing of beauty. It's hard to explain. People listening wouldn't understand unless they've played at Q. But mate, the way you hit the ball, it's actually great to watch. Let's dive right into the AFL Grand Final, because I haven't even asked you, because I've hardly seen you. We've both been busy, but geez, I'm actually really excited to ask you about this, because again, congratulations, mate. How good was it? It was so good for all your friends and family. It brings a tear to your eye when you watch a bloke put in so many hard yards and then get the medal around his neck. Talk to me about, let's just go back for the final series, because I think from memory you'd had some hammy tightness and there was a few question marks. So let's just go through the prep to the granny, and then we'll talk about the day, because I am really interested to know how it was and what the experience was like. Yeah,
it's there's a lot. You forget a lot of it. I almost forget until you bring it up there that I did have the hammy. We played the Gold Coast up there, I think the second last round of the year, and I was feeling good, which is nice that time of year. You know, you just want to be hitting your straps, and I was feeling great. And then I think it was the last quarter. Yeah, like 10 minutes into the last quarter, I just lunged at someone trying to tackle. And this is, I've nutted it out, and every time I do my hammy, I'm trying to tackle. So I need to just throw that out of my game, I think. Not that I tackle a lot anyway, but there's a fair chance I'll be paying unders for tackles this year. But, so I've just lunged and felt the tweak, and it's not great when it's in the same hammy and you've had 3 the year before. So I was a little bit stressed initially, and I didn't know. It wasn't a bad one, which was great. I knew that, but I did know that there's definitely a hammy there. You get that sick feeling. There's definitely a hammy there. You're definitely going to miss football. It's just all of it comes down to how many weeks. So got the scan. It was in a different spot slightly, which has given me a bit of confidence. It's not the exact same spot as before, previous. And then from there on, it was like how many weeks I'm going to miss. But we were playing West Coast at home the last round of the year, and then we had the bye before finals. So I had a bit to work with, and then we had a big game against the Pies first final. So
it wasn't that big.
It was touch and go there, and I know that a lot of the medicos were a little bit stressed going in around that game, just because you wouldn't want to re-hurt it the first final, because then it probably means you touch and go for even a grand final if you were to make it. So a little bit, there was stress all around, but I was pretty confident going in. It felt completely different. I was did all the rehab, felt great, got it really strong. Went into the Magpies game feeling pretty confident with how things are going, and when you're out there, you just sort of forget everything, don't you? And you just live in the moment.
That game, I'm just starting to bring back memories now. I haven't clicked in a footy mode just yet, but now we are, obviously. And that game, that was the one where it was like back and forth sausages, and you kicked that one. I think Ash Johnson or someone might have just kicked an absolute perler, and then you've gone, "Oh, is that all you got, big fella? Watch this." Like it was a real pivotal moment of the game as well, and it was high, like quality football. Yeah.
It was one of those real intense finals that's really contested, but there was also like a lot of, I guess, quick movement from both teams. We sort of took the game on a fair bit more last year. The Pies were just run and gun a lot. Such a young, exciting, side that could move the ball well. And, it was an awesome game. One that they jumped us by like 3 goals at the start. We sort of got it back to even, jumped in front, then they took the lead, and it stayed sort of real close for the whole game. So you can't sort of get 5 goals up and just take a deep breath. It wasn't that game. It was switched on from, I remember being exhausted after it because I just gave it everything, like everyone did out there that day. But there was some huge moments looking back, and probably don't take it in as much when you're out there playing, but then upon reflection, sort of even after the grand final, just thinking about that game and how important it was for us to get the win. There was a fair bit of background noise about how we can't win the first final, and Geelong hasn't won, the first final in a while. And
really?
There was a bit of noise around that, which I'd only been, at the Cats for 2 years, so it didn't really play into my mind, but it was nice to win. I think it was like 2 or 3 points.
It was a close game.
Great moments within it.
Oh, great moments. Talk me through the kick. Like you obviously got it. You're almost you're on the fence, so you can't even get your natural your run up. For any young kid,
I probably stole it off, and I've spoke about this before. Chucky Rowan was probably a yard or 2 closer, and it was a kicked out on the full, obviously. So I don't know who kicked it out in the full, but I've just seen it come off his boot, and sort of I knew it was going out the full, so I got there probably a little bit quicker than I should have. And then I realised, I didn't even think about it, but Chucky's a right footer, so it's a better side for him. And as a left footer, I'm tucked up on the boundary. It's a tighter kick, and being a right footer yourself, Tommy, you would have slotted that one easy, comfortably. But
just put it down the sheet now.
Yeah, I sort of I remember just thinking, I've got to kick this now, because that was probably a bit rude, wasn't it? But I'd hit it flush, like proper flush. As soon as I kicked it, I knew it was going through, and it went straight through. But there was a bit of
lip in the ear.
There was a bit of lip pre.
What were they saying? Free kick.
Oh, it's all a bit of a blur. Yeah, there was a lot of I actually heard a lot of Geelong fans, trying to pump me up a bit, but there was a fair bit of noise going the other way as well. But just tried to block it all out. And it's funny when you're doing it. I was almost laughing before I kicked it.
Yeah,
as in when I'm sort of doing my little routine, squishing the ball both ends, what I do, sort of almost chuckling on the inside because of just what was going on. It was just chaos. It was like I was like
at training.
Yeah, it felt like I was like, I don't know, like if this sounds rude, but like at a zoo or something, and everyone was just, watching right there, and it was just real intense.
Like you're the animal in the cage.
I'm the animal in the cage. I'm like, this is, got to go through. Otherwise, I'm going to hear about this. But I hit it really sweet, so I'm thankful for that.
Do you remember what you said to the crowd? Did you give him a shush? What did you give him?
Oh, nah. I gave him like the ears. Like
the ears. That's the one.
But yeah, it was just a fun sort of moment. Like I love those moments as well. You don't always kick them, but you got to be in the moment and want it a little bit if you are to kick it. And it's I guess that's why we practice, isn't it?
That's why you're the superstar. That's why you get paid the big bucks. It's also like, I think you even see the Collingwood fans, they're like, oh, respect. Like they loved it. It's good. It's good, the banter on the sidelines.
Yeah, it is. I love that part of like footy as well. And I think we should show a bit more of it.
Yeah.
I guess it's, quite often not that up and close and like right in the moment. Like it felt like like I was that close to some of the fans, they could have kicked it for me,
Yeah.
But, it's nice when there's a bit of banter out there and it makes it, what it's like, sport in general, just makes it so much better, I reckon.
Well, that moment was huge, both those moments, but it was just back and forth. And, that win. So then you get the chocolates there and week off.
Yeah, we went into, week off. So a bit of, I don't know what I did in that week off, probably a bit of golf, bit of fencing, probably plowed a paddock or two, bit of farming. Week off was nice. And it was also great for me just with my hammy as well. I've now got another 2 weeks or like 14 days before I'm playing again. So it was just another nice freshen up rather than going back to back, even though it felt great. It was just great. And, it was, so week off, then into Brisbane for a big prelim, I was. I didn't play my best footy that day, but we were on as a team. Yeah, played really, really well, and into the granny. It was pretty exciting. Big week.
Yeah, 100%. But any memories like once you knew, once the siren goes, you're like, I'm into a grand final again. You've been there before. Like, was it just like I expect this, and now it's like one more?
We wanted to go. Like we would. Oh, I think there was a huge amount of belief, even like mid-season, that we can make the granny for sure. Like that's what we want to do, and every team says it every year. They're like, oh, we want to make the granny, and that's what which everyone does at the start of the year. But we truly believed that we could win the grand final, and that was a lot on the back of a lot of momentum and a few little tweaks, and things are starting to come together. If you're not your team's the same teams on the park each week, you're not, battling with injuries and players coming in and out. It's a lot easier, and the confidence grew. So it was nice to be up by a fair bit in that Brisbane game and know that we had a grand final, the next week. So exciting. Yeah, the boys were pretty pumped up.
Yeah, it is exciting. Where were you watching the Sydney Pies game?
I was with Hawk and Crown, actually, having a really nice feed. Hawk was like watching the game on a laptop, set up there, and it was a tight finish. Remember because the Pies were down by a bit, and then they just come charge.
The last 20 seconds was like, oh my God, this could go. I think
but they were down by like 25 points or something.
They were out of it, and typical Pies.
Just another awesome, like they've been close all year, remember, but they won them all.
Yeah. They got
and
the
then
record.
This one was just, they fell a point
I think
short.
they got the record for the lowest percentage and for a top four.
Yeah.
So there's like I think it was 100 at some point. But it was, it's almost, it'll never be.
But they just won, so it didn't matter the percentage.
So many close games. Their fans had the best season. I mean, they didn't get to the end, but they had the best season of like home and away games and epic close games.
Well, what they finished the year before, they were
right down the 16th. Yeah. I'm going to go out with 16th. I think
I'd say 15th or 14th or something.
To go from 16th to top four is crazy.
Like for a fan base, like, and the club, I know the club inside the club would have been awesome, but for the fan base, that would have been amazing. Electric, man. Just going from 15th. You see it every year. Someone charges up the ladder, but they would have been bloody so many tight games.
I know.
Elliot kicks a few after siren. like
when you saw the scores, Sydney, Collingwood. Which team did you prefer to play? Because Collingwood was tight, so it was Sydney.
I don't know. Like Yeah, I honestly don't know. I was happy. You know how you always think because you know you're going to play the winner, you want it to be close, so they're just giving it everything, and you're like,
yes.
Like when, back in the Giants days, we just beat the Pies to go into the grand final, and we were like knackered, I remember the feeling like it's so hard to win a prelim, so to get to a grand final is what you want to achieve, but it takes it out of you when it's a real tight game. And
the Giants, there was like 5 players injured, like Whitfield coming from an appendix, Matty DeBoer with one knee, half you blokes running around. Toby was suspended, so he was probably the only one that was fresh.
Yeah, he was fresh.
Everyone else was. I think it was, Phil had a tight calf. There was just a lot of beat up players. Do you think it's maybe? I mean, it's hard to comment because Sydney. We know that the way it went in the granny, you guys are no taking credit away from you boys. He's unbelievable. Maybe they were a bit tired. Because we go to the grand final and, mate, I don't know, like we've spoken about it before, but at what point of the game did you think, oh my Lord, we are on? Like, was it some of the best footy you had played all year?
Yeah, well, that was the goal, and always is to peak at the right time, So, we'd won a fair few on a row by then, but throughout the year we'd won, some tight ones and had some good games, and we're still like making adjustments, but then to get into the finals and play really good football was awesome. And I guess in the grand final, I'm always one that was like, I think Hawk kicked the first out of the ruck, then he kicked another one out of the ruck, and I'm thinking, gee whiz, like he's just on fire here, the big fella. And then the boys are just moving the ball well. It's coming in a lot. And you as a forward, that you're thinking, geez, this is coming in heaps. We're like, well, it wasn't just like dirty ball coming in. The boys were using it well upfield. And but I'm always one that's like, if they kick 10 quick ones in the third quarter here, like, when you just get a little bit, anything can happen grand final day, you yourself, like I'm not a big NFL man, but remember when Brady's just comes charging back and wins the Super Bowl, stuff like that comes into my mind. So I was thinking if they kick 5 in a row, just happen to kick 5 in a row in the third, like they'll get momentum, they'll get a bit of belief. But fortunately, I think Mitchie Duncan got someone holding the ball early in the third, and we kicked one, and then we kicked another one. I'm thinking it's going to be hard to come back and win this. So I'd say halfway through the third, but you still got to play it out. And we were just solely focused on, like, you can't just start getting a bit happy about yourself with Joel Selwood out there, because he'll just rip your neck off,
Yeah.
He's playing until the final second. So guys like that keep you in check. And it was nice to sort of, in the last quarter, look around and Hawks smiling at you from 50 metres away, sort of thing. That was nice.
Was there any comments, like just some real cool moments on the field with you and Hawk where he just walked past you and say something?
Oh, I can't remember any off the top of my head. Yeah. Nah, there was a little bit like, it was just, you could just see that sort of, without even smiling, I knew Tyson Stengel was smiling, he's just, yeah.
What do you call him, Rowdy? Is it Rowdy?
Rowdy? Nah, I've never heard that.
Oh, that's what I thought. Someone call him Rowdy?
No.
Because he's a complete opposite.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. He's just really chilled out. I think that's a new one. I haven't
there you go, Rowdy.
Might have to call him that, see if it rings any bells.
Isn't he like really quiet?
He's pretty quiet. Yeah, he just, he is, but he's like within the forward line group.
Opens up a bit more.
Yeah, he opens up a bit more, and he can do whatever he wants. He's a star, mate. He's unbelievable. Like some of the stuff he does, how clean he is below his knees and picks it up and turns with pace and just hits someone up. And grand final day, he's kicked 4. It's like after the years he's had before that, and then he's all Australian when he comes to us and kicks 4 grand final day, and all the other goals he kicked throughout the year. Like, people forget, like, grand final day, biggest stage of all, he's kicked 4 big snaps from the boundary, and he's just like
polish.
Loved us. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him. Like, I enjoyed all my teammates enjoying their success, but especially after a few tough years for him to come back into it.
Yeah.
And
it's a great story. You get to do a doco on his turnaround.
You could do a doco on almost like
everyone.
Just like the story behind it all. Be incredible.
Back to let's just go back before the last quarter because there's some cool moments, but just the lead up, of the town? Because I've heard Geelong is it's one of the most passionate places for football, and they live and die by the win or the loss. So week to week is you're getting free coffees, or it's almost like head down. I don't want to know you if you lose. When you're playing such good football, because you've won so many games in a row, it must have been the most amazing place to walk around. I know I saw you quickly for a coffee the week of, and you see all these people. Oh my God, it's it's just it must be and because it's a cool town. What was the week prior to the grand final like? We're talking the town into the parade, and then obviously 2 hours till bounce down. You're like, right, this is game day now. Now it's time to bring it all back in.
Yeah, the community down in Geelong's like awesome, and because there's no other teams down there, it's its own place. So 90% of people probably go for Geelong. And, there's obviously a few, but I've found that most people are really, I guess because it's so small, they seem to bump into you. Like you go for coffees, there's only, there's a fair few cafes, but it's limited, So like they see enough players to not jump out of their skin and annoy you all the time. But they've been unreal, like since I've moved down there, and just the excitement upon the year, I guess. Early, I think, in the season, we probably lost more. There was a stage I think we'd lost more, or it was like 50-50. We might have been, 3-4 or something like that. And it's funny how you're only one game away from getting, shot down. And it's like, come on, what's going on here, fellas? And then the next week you win by 50 and everyone's up and about. And we're lucky enough to win a heap in a row going into the finals. So, grand final week was bubbly. It was, the week post grand final was even more bubbly. The pubs were chockers, and it's just parades. They were doing their own parades down there on the waterfront, and it was chaos. I just stayed out the farm as much as I could to get away from it, mate, to be honest. But I don't always. I'm happy with my Moccona at home, so I have about 3 or 4 of those to get the juices flowing. But I don't really duck into town too much unless I have to. And but when I did, the people were awesome. Like the community's right behind you. Just really, I guess, up and about. Like for a place that just, like you said, just breathes footy and just wants to see the team win a flag every single year.
It's every year.
It's nice to and because it'd been a bit of a
dry spell for Geelong.
Yeah, for Geelong.
Geelong standards.
It's been like
a couple of
9 years.
9 years, yeah.
Yeah, but it was an awesome feeling. It was nice to celebrate with the town afterwards. Like, there was great turnouts the day after the grand final. Was, the old eyelids. I had the toothpicks in the eyes trying to stay awake. But, it was a big turnout. Big turnout.
Let's go back to 3/4 time. Did you know Joel Sale was retiring?
Nah, I had no idea.
Oh, you had no idea?
Nah, I had no idea he was going to retire. I was 50-50, and whichever one was,
But no one had actually spoken about it.
So no one had spoken about it. There was he sort of mentioned this on the Tuesday when he announced it that that he was going to retire, and it was, I think he said that just me, mate, I forget what I had for brekkie 10 minutes ago, but I think he said he told 5 players, or maybe even 3 players.
Hawk would have been one of them, I reckon.
Hawk. The guys that he's really might have been Mitchie Duncan or something. Yeah, a few guys that he's so close with, Danger maybe, that this would be it. I think he made his mind up, maybe a few weeks prior and told his parents and stuff and family, but that was about it. So it was not until the Tuesday after the grand final we had a signing day. And I was sitting next to him in the signing session, and he just whispered to me, he's like, I've decided that's it, mate. I'm doing the presser in an hour. So that's when I found out fully. It wasn't even in the rooms after the game or nothing like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pretty big.
So you were probably like us watching, is he?
And I wasn't going to, the last thing I would want from other players is mate, are you going on again every 10 seconds? Because that's what's talked about. So I'm not going to call him up and.
Yeah.
It's funny, we send little voice, I do it to you too, but
they're good.
The little, instead of typing a message, you just do the little voice
and
message.
I love that. Anyone else out there, there's a bit of a knock on this sometimes. Yeah. It's so efficient. Mate, I can't be bothered texting.
No, it saves the fingertips, mate. It's just, you hold it in and it comes across, how it comes across if you're having a laugh, you know what I mean?
When you know your mate very well, it's easier. Texting, the tone can be way off.
So Joel sends them to me all the time, even now that he's got, the legs up, and he's got a little one now.
Yeah.
Little baby boy, which is awesome for him and Queen Brit. But it was a big announcement, wasn't it? It was huge for the club. You know, he'd been captain for so many years in a row, and just the way he plays his football, I think that's just, mate. If I put my head in and under like he does every week, I'd play 20 games. I'd break down.
Couple of hammies, I reckon you tackling like him.
Well, that's it. He's had more tackles than I've had kicks, mate.
And you've had a few kicks. Footy. He is such an amazing player and been such a great ambassador for the game. Handled himself with so much class. It was just so obvious for me. I reckon I'm pretty good at reading people. Yeah. When him and Hawk embraced, that was why I said he definitely would have told Hawk, because there was a lot of emotion there, and but there's a lot of confusion from everyone else, which is interesting that you said that no one else knew, because that's what it looked like. It was like Hawk knows, no one else knows, but it hasn't been announced. And
and like that's, I thought it was awesome the way he did it, really, because if he sort of let the boys all know before the granny, then, like everyone, I mean, in the team, then you'd sort of like, I guess you could, like, you'd get a lift out of it, but it could, you know, he didn't want any distractions on anyone. So he told the ones that he'd played, 15 years with, and then, that was it. And it was more after the granny, which is just, that's the leader he is. He was, the one thing he wanted was to win the flag. I think that goal was just footy, wasn't it? Just give him the nod, tip of the cap on the way out when he kicked that checky.
Oh, yeah. That was a moment.
I've never seen him do it at training, let alone a game.
Really?
Oh, he can't kick a checky more than 25 metres, that bloke. And he's somehow, Closey's tapped it to him. And I'll never forget it. And then Danger picked him up when he kicked it, mate. Awesome.
There's so many cool moments. And that moment was, it all brings a tear to the eye almost.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
But another moment that brings the opposite of tears, like the happy, like I'm laughing, is when the big fella right across from me right now, you kick a sausage, your celebration goes down as one of the best celebrations in AFL Grand Final history. I've had a lot of questions they're going to ask later, but I'm going to ask them now. So I forgive me if I don't read your name out for writing in such a good question, but there was so many from the Aces. Okay. These are all the questions that come out from this. When did you practice this celebration? What beer did you crack when you kicked the goal? When did you know you were going to do it? Was it on the spot? Was it like, there's so many questions about this celebration because it was so fucking good. And when you did it and they got the slow motion and
you could almost see that, when you like crack a nice cold stubby in that, like if the sunlight's just right on the top of the can, you can see the little bit of like residue come off you could see it almost in that, couldn't you? I don't know what it was. Yeah, the slow-mo was unreal. I didn't obviously know that there was a slow-mo until we watched it back at Mad Monday. I think Joel put the game on at Mad Monday, which was just a bit of a laugh, but like a nice way to watch it too.
Yeah.
This is before we got to, everyone got a bit messy, but I'd never practiced it. Otherwise, mate, can you imagine if Indy walks into the bedroom and I'm just like in front of the mirror practicing? Like, I don't need practice, man. I crack enough of him as it is. But
imagine she's walked in and you're doing them ones.
Yeah.
That makes it even more special. It was a one of one.
But it was one of one, yeah. But it was there'd been a bit of talk about, because the boys are like, well, come on, mate, you surely grand final week, you're not doing anything around the farm. But at this stage I was renovating my man cave out in the shed. So just a beautiful, nice bit of timber, where you can have a few Norlands or Carlton drafts or whatever you want over the bar with a few mates looking out onto the paddocks. So that was what I was working on. So I just sort of had that in the back of my mind, because everyone's like, is it going to be ready for, BT asked me after the prelim, I think, is it going to be ready for grand final celebrations? And that was sort of in my head. So I don't know what sort of, I think it was like a few moments before I was like, if I kick a goal here, I'm going to just go with it.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of celebration time and Izzy's on my shoulders. And I should have looked at his Instagram, but this guy, he doesn't even know this either. But he drew, like, he does like hand sketches and I forgot his Instagram handle, but he does like hand sketches, and they're unreal of like moments of sport moments. You know, it might be Tiger Woods or like NRL Grand Final and that, and just certain moments. And he does it all by hand. It's unbelievable. And then he like sells them for like $80 or something, like, and it looks amazing. And I was like, he tagged me in it, and I didn't tell him, but I loved it that much that I bought it, one of them, through Indy's name, so he doesn't know I bought it, because I didn't want to be like, you know what I mean? But I hope he well, he doesn't even know, but I hope he knows now.
Yeah, that's great. We'll give him a shout out.
I purchased it through and got it in Indy's name, so he got it sent out, and I've got it like framed and going in the shed, because it's just that can moment with Isaac on my shoulders. Grand Final is one, and you know we've done it. But like he hand drew it, and it looks sick.
That's so cool. I can't wait to see the photo of this. And where you've put it in your bar?
I don't know how some people can draw like that. Yeah, it's in my bar. So
that's epic.
But yeah, there was so many good moments. I didn't practice it. It was
what beer was it? It's a can.
It's a can. Yeah, it was a. I drank Northern a lot. I must admit, you know that.
I know,
your
that.
The people know that.
I know that, but Northern's
beer Northern. But I think the sponsors are Carlton Draft, aren't they? So it was Carlton Draft that day.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful Carlton Draft. Very, very cold one.
Oh, far out! You made me laugh, because I was, as you know, we had a house party somewhere. And the game is obviously over, and I'm just waiting for the big fella to kick another sausage. And when you did it, I was fucking laughing. I was laughing something shocking. I was like, that is one of the greatest celebrations.
It's just like, yeah.
And a great moment. It's like almost like I've worked so hard in my career so far. What's that, year 11 last year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's 11 years of hard work and being such a gun and, you know, kicking so many goals. And that moment's like, finally I can enjoy a cold one and have a medal around my neck.
Even like some of the grand finals over time are so close right till the last kick, you know. So it was nice to not have that pressure on it, and you could actually enjoy the moment a bit, you know. It was the total opposite to 2019, you know, at the Giants. And it was like the script had just been completely flipped for me personally.
Yeah.
You know, I got asked about that afterwards. Like, it was like 80 or 90 points the other way last time. It's 60-point swing or something, you know.
And does that make it even more special? Because you've done it the hard way. You know, you've been flogged on a big stage. And
it's I don't know the feeling around it, because like I wanted to win so bad that day at the Giants as well with good mates, you know, Toby and Cogs and all the boys up there that you try so hard with. You know, different group of people down there at Geelong and different mates, and you know, it was just two different times completely, but definitely knew like how the Swans were feeling.
Yeah, well that's it. You've been there, so you get it. Everyone's keen to know post-match celebrations, and no one does it better. No one does it better.
I don't know. There's probably a few that would do it better. But
there's a few, and there's a lot of questions again, so we're going to go to them soon, because I want to ask a few of them, but I'm going to ask the ones I want, and I'm going to start with, well, let's just start with post-game, because I don't know what it's like, and I'd love to know.
Yep.
You've just won the flag. You've all got your medals on, like even that moment, like how cool is it getting your name read out?
Yeah.
Jeremy Cameron, number 5, and off you go and get your medal. Like,
what,
like just as a kid growing up, you know, is that something that you've just dreamt of? And break down those little moments on the field.
Yeah, obviously grand final, the siren goes, you're just all teammates. It's teammates. Then you get around everyone on the field, you know, how good's that? And then, you know, the boys that didn't play, you know, they've come out on the ground, so you're getting around them, because without them, you can't make it happen. You know, there's guys that have missed out through injury. There's guys that have missed out through selection. There's guys that, you know, are young and you know, hopefully that's all in front of them in future years. So you're getting around, you know, your other teammates, and then all the staff are out there, and then that was incredible. And then it sort of calms down. And I found myself when it calmed down, because they were bringing the stand out to do the medal, you know, presentation, that I was like daydreaming a bit. Like it was a bit like just staring at the ground, and people were like, you know, well done, mate. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? I'm sort of taking it all in. Like we've actually done it, you know, but I'm thinking in my own mind. So I'm like, people probably looking back, and if there's footage, I'm just like staring at grass. Like it just looks stupid, you know, but then, your name gets read out. Awesome moment. You see the little Oz kicker, you know. which is pretty cool. And then after that, then Indy and the families come out. So I saw Indy and Poppy, Ryan Griffin's daughter, come out with Indy, and that was awesome because she loves going the footy to watch me play and comes to heaps of games. And, Griff was retired, before that she knew what it was. So she sort of watches me, and through watching me knows that that's what Dad used to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
He used to get a lot more touches than me, but I tell him I kick a few more goals. But so to have Poppy out there brought a tear to the eye because she just ran from like 50 metres away and jumped into the arms, and that was a nice moment. Seeing Indy was awesome moment. We obviously knew that like we were having a baby at this stage, but no one else did. So that was like, there was a few people that did, like family, but the people in general, like even my teammates didn't know at that stage. So it wasn't until a week later we announced that. So that was a nice moment too. And then, you do your lap around the ground. That was pretty cool because that's all fans. And then I ran into my player sponsor. He was like, he messaged me the week, or might have called me. He calls me and just, says, good luck and how's the body feeling, all this, and then sort of leaves me alone, which is nice. And he's been a big supporter for a while. He told me the week before, when you win, I'll have some beers for you, like, because you haven't got a drink at that stage. And then he's thrown in. He's what's he got? No, when you're just walking around and you're like, there's 100,000 people in this place.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, he's just like, bang, here's 2 Carlton drafts. And then the boys are like, Hawks, like, where'd you get the beers from? And like, they're like, where? And then we did this circle up. And sung the song. That was mental. That was like it's bringing back sort of chills now.
Yeah.
This is stuff I don't really sit home going, oh, how good was that? At every point. But we sung the song on the ground, and that was actually insane, sort of in front of the crowd, because the crowd was singing it for us,
Oh, so you guys did that in front of the cheer squad?
Yeah, and then we went down in front of the cheer squad. Then we went down, and you're seeing all your other mates that have got into the ground as well. Big Chucky Woodford was down there.
Chucky there?
Yeah, Tyrone Ross and the big troop, and there was a few fellas down there, which they come along for the ride as well to a lot of games. Mum and Dad like in the rooms sing the song again. It's all happening, And then like 3 hours has gone by, and normally you're 2 hours of playing footy, or 2 or 3 hours, like all up, and then you're wrecked in the car going home. All you want to do is sit down, but you play that 2.5 hours. Then you stand up for another 3 hours, and you haven't realised my legs were falling off, mate. Have you seen the size of my calves? My legs are about to fall off.
They're almost skinnier than mine.
I think I just got you, don't I? But I was ready to go out in a wheelchair, and then we're on the bus, and we did this presentation out the front of the G, celebrating there with the fans that couldn't get down to Geelong. That was brief. Then went to back to the GMHBA Stadium. It was a bit of a upstairs sort of presentation as well.
How was that bus ride there with all the boys?
Unreal, yeah. That was unreal.
Pumping tunes?
Yeah, just it's a bit of a blur, just like, it was a bit of Instagram time, I guess, just whacking a few, drinking a couple out of the cup and all that stupid. So not stupid, but stuff just has to be done when you win it.
You just have to tick that box.
Have to tick that box. Tasted nice out of the cup,
Yeah. Don't worry about
probably not. Yeah.
No need for the COVID protocols there, big fella. How many lips would have been around that cup?
I think I was smarter. I played me card smart there. I was one of the first, mate. Just get that out of the way. No, but the celebrations just roll on. Like you got to celebrate it.
Oh, you have to.
I remember like getting to Bali a week later and just going, I need to get out of here. Like get me off. I need to get off this Australian turf, mate, and go somewhere to get away from this, because it's just...
Because you'd celebrate it properly.
Yeah, you do. Like, I had nights where I had to just call it and just, you can't just go for a week straight without sleeping. But, I had to have a few nights off. But even then, like, you're just celebrating. And then we had the B&F on the Thursday, and that was a big night. And then the Friday, might as well go to the pub. What else have we got to do? The season's over,
Did you pay for a beer for a week?
Oh,
surely
not in Geelong.
I know you're a generous man, and you would have been like, take me bloody cash
not
to
in
give
Geelong.
that.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They didn't. Big Billy Brownless and a few of the ex-Geelong boys own pubs around. So, yeah, they know what happens down in Geelong when you win a flag, mate. You got to not run out of beer. That's rule number one. So they had plenty of kegs and got a couple of kegs out the farm for the new bar, thanks to Big Billy as well. So awesome times, mate. Awesome times. I tell you what, a month after the grand final, I felt like the furthest thing from an athlete. Jeez, I tell you what, the first steps back to I guess the first steps on the road to 2023 were horrible. The knee blew up and bloody limping down the road 300 metres in, skin folds are over 120. All you can think about is like beer fumes and just food, just that many Macca's burgers and hash brown. What are we having for breakfast? Hash browns and that's it, egg and bacons and you know what I mean? It's a proper month of just
going for it.
And then it comes a time it's like overnight, the fingers just click and you're like,
let's do it again.
We have to do it again here.
Yeah.
It's just a horrible feeling when that comes.
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
Horrible. Still haven't looked the dietitian in the eyes. Yeah.
Mate, well done. You've recapped that so well. It's special, everything. And I love how you touched on, the players that missed out, because that's what Geelong is. It's a club. It's full of great people from, it's not just the 22 that are out there game day. It's everyone. And I love that you respect them and they respect you guys and you share those moments and, the family and the friends and the cheer squad and the staff. It's fucking so cool when you talk about it. I can see why you get chills. The celebrations after the video went viral. It was, you got the cattle on the, obviously on the farm. That I think I was FaceTiming you when it was happening. You're chucking the medal around everyone's neck, and all of a sudden you thought it was time to put the medal on the cow.
Yeah, we had
talk to me about that one.
Big Dawson Simpson actually come down for the granny and that, which was a surprise. He didn't. I don't think did he go to the granny? I'm not sure if he was at the granny. I didn't know. So we got back to Geelong after all what's happened, and we've gone back upstairs at Geelong, and this is like, it'd be nearly 11 o'clock at night already. The day's gone, and Big Dimo was standing there, and I couldn't believe it. He was the tallest bloke in the room,
What a specimen.
So he's come down. Griff was obviously with me. Mates were with me. Kieran, my other good mate, was with me. He's come down from Darwin at this time, and then after that's finished, we've all gone back to the farm because everyone, everywhere's shut. It's, everywhere's shutting. It's now 2:30 in the morning. So we had a good crew back there and we stayed up all night. But, Tyrone Rossell was with me. He's lives in Ballarat, but he was staying down and he was, I don't know what happened, but we're like, that's just, I remember before this actually, I turned my back for a second. I look around and there's a cow in my man cave. I'm like, how is that in there? And the boys have like caught one because the day before the granny, my mate dropped off 5 of them. So I've been talking to him and he was going to the granny as well. So he's like, I'll kill 2 birds with one stone. I'll bring the cows over, go to the granny, enjoy celebrations with you. So shout out to Blair for looking after me there. And he dropped them the night before the granny at 9:30. He got bogged. That's another story. I had to go pull him out of the bog at 9:30 before grand final day.
Let's touch on that after this. That's hilarious.
But then so the cows are real fresh. They're only calves. Sorry, people get annoyed when I say cows. They're little steers. So, they were in the paddock, and Big Dorse, being a bit of a farmer himself, and Griff just laughs at anything. And they've caught a few steers, and then they went to bed, I think, or Dorse was sleeping in his chair, and then Tyrone got bored and just whacked one on the cow, and put up the Instagram story that went everywhere. But I had no idea what I'd done. So when you're the next day, even the boys are like laughing. I'm glad they're laughing and not like serious, because like at least it's funny whatever I've put up. And then I didn't know at this stage until we're back at the club, and I've looked at my story and it's bloody just gone everywhere.
Because the cow took off with the medal.
Took off with the medal. Yeah,
and you're like the boys.
And it was all like that was all that was spoken about from fans for like so long. So going through the winning parade through the streets of Geelong was just like, how's your cow? How's your cow? Every single person, every kid, like it was like I was so off the cows by the end of it. But it was funny at the time,
Oh, it was hilarious.
Clearly had a couple of Northerns and a few Carlton drafts, a couple of shots probably.
How many Northerns did you delete?
A lot, yeah. Well, I don't know how many cans because it was on tap. So, we had the keg set up there.
That's right.
So, a few handles, definitely a few handles.
That would have been the most handles you would have had at that point for the new bar as well.
Yeah, it was.
Go back to this. So you got these, what did you call them? Steers?
Steers, yeah.
What's a steer? Because I'm not a farmer.
It's like they're all born a boy and a girl, but the boys are bulls. But then when they get a ring on their, agates, and the agates shrivel up and drop off. To put it politely, they become a steer, so they're just a steer, and then you fatten them up and away they go. But they're still on the farm. I still got the 5. I got 7, but them 5 are just going. Oh, they've been on some good tucker. They're wider than me, mate. A month into the off season, but So he's so Blair's coming over and he's like, oh, I'll be there at 4:30, and then he's time management wasn't great and it's 6:30, but I didn't care because I go to bed at 10:30 anyway. Didn't worry me too much, and then it's got to like 9 o'clock and he's gone the back way. It quite often Google Maps zigzags you to our property, especially when you're coming from west, and he's gone all these back ways and then he's missed the turn. So he's gone to do the U-E on the side of the road and just bogged it straight to the diffs with the cattle trailer on because it's so heavy. And 5 of them's a lot of weight. So he's just bogged it and then he's, 10 minutes from home. But he's called me. He's like, mate, I'm bogged. I've fucked up. I'm bogged and, stress and bullets. And then he's like, do you know anyone that can get me? And I'm thinking, going off the top of my head, I'm like, I have a mate that's up the road, but like, it's going to take him an hour to just get to you, and by the time, and I don't want to wake him up if he's asleep and all that, so I'll just come and get you, mate. And he's like stressing because I've got grand final. He's like, no, you can't come. And I'm like, mate, but you're dropping him at my house anyway, so if I get my mate to come and get you, it'll be an hour. Then you've got to wake me up and drop him off anyway. Like, you don't know where to put him and stuff, so I'll just come and get you. So I ended up pulling him out, and it was fine. But it's like 9:30 at night, and I'm pulling him out of the bog. Like, it's not ideal prep for a grand final, but it had to be done. It had to be done. He would have done the same for me, I'm sure. So
that's a great story. What time did you finish up getting the car out and all that?
Oh, it would have been like 10:30. I rolled in the bed, but it doesn't worry me. Like, I was one of 2 players, I think, that stayed at home. Everyone else stayed at a hotel in Melbourne. Oh, so they could wake up, have a coffee, and roll into the G. But I like the
drive.
No, it's not even the drive. It's like the waking up on your own, in your own bed, doing your own stuff, like in the morning, going for a walk and hearing the birds and the, checking up on the cows, the brand new cows, and let the chooks out. Like, that's the stuff I love, and that's what I wanted to keep that same as every other week. So that's what I did. But
who was the other bloke that didn't go up?
Collar, I think. Yeah, big Jakey. I don't know. Yeah. He's reasoning, but I'm sure it was just routine as well. That's what I wanted to. I was surprised so many were stayed up, but a lot was to skip the traffic.
Oh yeah.
But it was like the best run I've ever had. It was like everyone was like, "Oh, grand final's on today. We're not going to drive to Melbourne because there'll be so much traffic." So like, no one does it.
Yeah,
and it was just straight through. I couldn't. But the best day there, like traffic wise, for the whole season.
You just know it's going to be a good day when that happens.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was a nice day, but
Oh, there you go. That is.
Yeah. Few stories to come out of, the year, but grand final week, there's just story upon story.
Oh, I can only imagine. And
most of them good.
They're all good. But give us the post-match celebration / Mad Monday. Actually, let's go straight to Mad Monday and then give me your best. Actually, give me your best now. I always ask 10 questions at once. I need to improve that. Give me your 3, 2, 1. I get too excited.
I'd say, for best on it, the whole week.
The whole week. And then we'll touch on Mad Monday.
Blitz. I'd say Blitz is just your stayer. He's your Melbourne Cup winning horse.
He's renowned for this, isn't he?
Yeah,
a lot of people around town say he's just there all night. The night watchman.
Yeah. He'll be there all night and well into, day upon day, just stack up the days, which is incredible. He was still in his full playing kit like a day later. It's pretty, nasty on the nose and stuff, but I'm sure we all were. We all would have been, yeah.
We just had breakfast, obviously, with your beautiful partner, Indy, and she said that you had your boots on till till 6 a.m.
Remember that? That's what she keeps telling me that. I'm like, no, I didn't, but maybe I did.
So you wouldn't have got changed.
She would know.
You wouldn't have got changed at all. No showers, just straight through for the boys.
Yeah. You're not like taking your time. You just go with the flow.
There would have been a bit on the nose, wouldn't there?
Would have
everyone?
been, yeah. But no one cared because it was just such a happy time. But yeah, we I think Ty Stengel was pretty good. He was funny because he's as we were saying about, he's pretty quiet and then rowdy. He was a bit rowdy when he had a few beers and he was up and about, just happy like everyone was. So it's hard to pick, Yeah. He did hit a bit of a wall mad Monday. It wasn't just a small like cardboard wall. That was a brick wall. We hit a brick wall head on. Had to go home pretty early, Tice, but he hadn't slept much at that stage, so he was great. But yeah, I don't know who pinches the one vote. There's so many. It's an important one though. If I gave myself an hour, I'd come up with something, But off the top of my head, probably like an Axe or Grind. Grind was pretty good. Those guys, they just love a beer and a good time. Jack Henry, he's sort of real close with Blitz, so he's sort of learn a bit off Blitz.
A little apprenticeship.
Yeah, he's done his apprenticeship already. Like he's 3 years out of his apprenticeship under Blitz, but not a bad bloke to learn off. They know how to sink a beer and keep sinking them.
Yeah, where do you put yourself? You're on fire. You're on fire that week. I'd say mid-table, but only because I knew what Indy was sort of going through. So it was a bit of I'm going to use that as an excuse anyway. But yeah, because she was pregnant, obviously. So, and I feel for her because she loves a celebration too. So, it's been spoken about. We need to win another one because, she needs to celebrate this one. So she didn't get to celebrate this one. So she was at home pretty much the whole time. It was nice to have a Uber driver at any given stage. Like anything, even we haven't quite had the baby. It's only a number of weeks away now, but even like to this day, like if I needed to get me out of trouble, she's driving, so she's always there.
Yeah, I probably owe her to a few nice meals and whatnot to make up for it, but I don't think it will.
That is so good. Oh, she's one of the best, mate. That's why it's very special. Actually, you're going to be a dad. Are you obviously you're excited, but are you nervous? You just can't wait?
Nah, I'm not nervous at all. I'm a bit nervous. Sorry, I'm nervous for her. Hopefully, it's just smooth and she has a baby with no complications and it's just smooth as it can be, because I know it's not really smooth anyway. It's pretty tough on him. But once that stage is over, I'm not nervous about having like a child. I can't wait. I've sort of always wanted to be a young dad, which is, people find funny because I have like a million hobbies. So like I'm always like at the moment I think I'm a left-handed Tiger Woods. I'm really not, but I'm playing that much golf. It's ridiculous. And then 2 months time, I'm like addicted to fishing, and then 2 months after that, I'm addicted to going camping and hunting and shooting rabbits. And like, I think I'm like, the best shot in the world, but I'm really not, And so having a kid, people are like, mate, you've got too many hobbies to, have a kid. But I've always been excited about it and I love kids. So, I want to be a young dad and have a little one when I'm still playing footy. Yeah. I think that's the best, So, yeah, it's going to be a big step, but I haven't read anything about we've been to a few classes and I'm borderline falling asleep. It's great for the girls. They get a lot of, different insights into, pregnancy and that. But, for the first, I just got to help out as much as I can, But I'm a hands-on, so I can't wait to change nappies and that. That's no issue with me. Yeah. Whereas I know it is with other people, but they're good in other areas. I'm like full learn as you go. Yeah. Like I don't know how to farm, mate. I'm not a farmer, but like I sort of am now because I just learn. Yeah. Like that's how I like doing things. Yeah, doing it versus like reading about it. The theory and then going out there, and it's a totally different thing. You got to learn anyway, I just like to go, learn on a run. I stuff this up. This fence looks like shit, so I'll rip it down and do it again. And then the second time it's better, Then you learn, you talk to a few people and away you go. So. That's great advice for anyone out there that's being pressured into reading all the baby books. Just do what Jezza does and just go with the flow. Mate, it helps when you can't read. So. But yeah, on the audio books, I'm just like looking at the pictures in there, and they all look pretty gnarly. When I read it, puts me to sleep. Yeah. Well, maybe I should do that. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I don't read. We struggle to get to sleep. I can't get to sleep.
And you don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl, which is really cool. And it must be, does it eat away at you a little bit? Like you kind of really want to know or no?
Now I want to know. Yeah, now we're really close. But Indy wanted to know from the start and I didn't. So I was like, you can find out, but I'm not, which would have been really hard. But then she was like, nah. The more people we spoke to were like, how many surprises do you really get now that you're 30 years old? It's not many that are genuine surprises. So like that's one that you can make the decision this is going to be a surprise and stick with it. So like that just, for her, I think it just, was excited her a bit and she was like, no, I want it to be a surprise too. So it's been cool, but I'm like fully, it'd be interesting when this potty comes out to see what's happening because we've probably had the baby in between.
I think you're having the baby as we're releasing this.
Yeah, so it might be fresh.
Yeah.
But right now I'm like fully.
Or it could be any second because I reckon when this comes out, it'll be like, how long till Indy's due?
Well, you've made me put the phone on flight mode. So that's a genuine like risk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because she's probably in the park right now out there. Could you imagine? She's trying to call me, no other contacts. You hear the knock on
I'd feel that bad.
Oh, could you imagine? I flick it on.
Oh, you might have to flick it back.
70 messages come through, like missed calls. She's in the park.
Billy's taken off there around the 10.
Oh, wouldn't be good. But it's any stage. So my gut feeling is like it's boy, because everyone said boy. I think like Sean Higgins were like, nah, you're having a girl. And like apart from that, there's not, even like Poppy and you ask other kids, like all Hawks kids are like, boy. And then like you ask Poppy and Poppy's like, you're having a boy. And it's just like.
That's crazy.
So in my mind, that many people said boy that we're having a boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like sold on it. But then if we have a girl, it'll be like an even bigger surprise in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I don't care. Like either
You've got
way,
no expectations.
I can't wait. My sister's got a little girl. Cousins have little girls, and Griff's got 2 little girls, and my other cousin Jay's got a boy and a girl. So like, there's a lot of girls. So it doesn't matter, especially your first. Like it'd be nice to have one of each. But you can't pick and choose, mate. We might be 5 kids in and still had all girls or all boys. Who knows?
Imagine that. You'll just keep pumping them out.
I don't think Indy will.
I know. Jeez,
yeah, it's tough on the girls. But
they are amazing. Everyone out there, anyone that's had a baby, I mean, there's just so much respect what they go through and
changes your life. Reckon, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's exciting times, mate. And it'll be, if it is a boy, it'll hit a golf ball a long way.
Hopefully it's got like.
Hopefully
it's got Indy's skin, like just nice brown, bronze, like tans easily sort of skin, whereas like I'm real pasty and like 6 years of sun straight, I still don't hold a tan, like hopefully it's got, and we'll take her skin and like her looks and just my left boot or like something like that. That's all I really like. It'd be, either way, I can't wait to go and, it excites me, like I'll be probably retired, but when your babies or your kids are like playing sport and you're that dad that just carries everything, lugs everything to the cricket oval to watch your kid play. That's what I want to do. I can't wait. I can
literally visualize you on the back of a ute with a few Northerns with they have a couch on the back and you're just sitting there.
Yeah, under 8s or something.
Oh, the other thing, the names. Have you come up with a name for both sides? Like if it's a girl or a guy?
Yeah.
So you know your names.
Yeah, always get like panicky. Me and Indy don't even talk about it now really with each other because
you don't want to say something.
You don't want to like even now I might go bang and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'd keep it. Yeah.
Imagine that releasing the name on a potty. I don't want that obviously.
No.
We'd edit it out. We'd have to take that out.
But Indy'd kill me. But
so is that a hard secret? Like you can't wait to tell everyone? Is it a common question?
It's sort of like we don't really sit down and go, like here's a list. We sort of have, but you just sort of bounce things off each other and you come up with
just on it. I don't want you to spit this out. I'm getting close to making you do it, but when you're breaking down, because I'm not there yet, but if I ever do get the opportunity, so is it okay? I like this name, and then Indy goes, I like this, and then you go, and you make a case for your name. Is that how it works?
Yeah, you sort of do, yeah. But then, like the biggest thing, and you got to get past this because you might have a great name, but then you'd be like, but I knew someone back in grade 5 and he was a shit bloke, And he had the same name. And it's like, come on, like you can't run with that. You got to get that all out of your system. And, you can't really call your kid the same as your sister's kid's name, because it's so close. But even like people that you don't really see, but you know, like they have the same name. You sort of, you just got to go with what you want, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got.
But yeah, you bounce things off each other. It was more like because Jolie was a week, Joel Selwood and Britt were a month before us, and we're like, oh, imagine if they got our name.
Oh yes,
you'd be like, I wouldn't be able to. It's too close. I reckon you would. I reckon we would. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know.
Clearly, it didn't happen, so it's fine.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Yeah, so but it's just like funny because I was thinking about that. And Reece Stanley just had one like a month ago as well, and
a few kids getting around.
Lots of kids at Geelong, but he had his third, and I'm thinking, it could be the same name, and like it's wigging me out a bit.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's great.
It's all part of it, mate.
You'll get
there.
It is part of it. I'm going to go to I want to give you I've got a new prize. I was going to give you one now because it's a big announcement for the podcast. I'll give you a few later. Before I ask you about the farm, mate, we've got a brand new sponsor on.
No, look, this is day one.
This is day one.
No way.
And I was like, if there's a guy that is going to love it, it's the big fella.
Wow,
Beard and Blade.
No way.
On board. So I got a special
Beard
care
and
package
Blade.
here. So rip that open, big fella. I wanted to make sure it's just fresh.
Jeez, I don't want to break anything.
Open that up. So I'll give you a little bit of an insight.
We have a
You'll be able to open that with your fingers, won't you?
I've got some keys.
Over its 16 years, Beard and Blade now has over 500,000 customers, Jez. Over 1.5 million visits, that is, to its website every year, and ships over 100,000 orders per year across Australia. So we're not just mucking around here.
Yeah,
Beard and Blade are the real deal. Beard and Blade is committed to expanding its product range and increasing brand awareness in Australia as a fun, friendly men's grooming and wellbeing authority. Mate, you have everything in this pack, and I can't wait.
It's a big pack.
It's a big pack, and I'll read out what you've got in a minute.
Do they use on this box too?
Oh, I told them tape it up because the big fella, I don't want anyone nicking off with me Beard and Blade package. I
feel like I'm going to break something.
There it is. We've got it open. So open up that package, mate. And again, Beard and Blade, we've actually been very lucky enough to have a discount code generated so everyone listening can go home and get on board. That discount code won't change from all our discount codes. It's going to be simply ACES. You're going to get 15% off if you head to the website beardandblade.com.au and check it out. Now, this leads straight into it. Have a look at that. The heavy-duty beard trimmer.
Mate, I tell you what,
Bang.
it is always on my case about this too. I actually knocked it off this morning.
Little,
just a little one for you, so I look half decent, not just this.
Oh, we could have done it live on the potty with the Beard and Blade products.
Well, I didn't know this was happening, did I?
It's a big surprise.
Day one, mate. It's unreal.
So open all that up. There's a lot in there. There's one thing that I want to get out here, and it's the heavy. There's another heavy duty beard trimmer there. That's exactly what it is.
Styling powder.
Listen to this one, big fella. I got a question for you, and I think you'll enjoy it. The Hero Beard Trimmer by Beard and Blade is a strong and clever all-in-one trimmer designed for beard and body. So not just for the face, for the body,
Hang
right?
on.
With its long battery life, easy 40 length precision wheel and zero blade attachment for super close trimming and edging, the Hero Beard Trimmer is the ultimate grooming solution. Perfect for a close shave down in your private parts.
Look out.
Look out, big fella. Speaking of your private parts, right? I want to know, what kind of operator are you, Jess? When it comes to the old meat and two veg, right? Are you a shaver? Are you a trimmer? Or do you just let it go like the Amazon virus, mate? What kind of operation are you running?
I tell you what, I used to be, I normally trim, like I'm normally okay on the trim, except for when you have a baby on the way, Tommy, there's not a lot of, need to be trimmed and looking tidy, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So I reckon there's probably a bit more like this.
There's an Amazon down there at the moment.
It's bigger than the Amazon, mate. I'm not sure what you'll find down there, but I'll tell you what, that'll keep me sorted. I'm glad there's two.
Oh, yeah, you might need three.
I might need three, but how good's that? That's a great care package.
It's great. And it's so great to announce them that they're on on board for the Aces. And yeah, as I said, anyone out there that wants to get on board, they are the best in the land. So head online to beardandblade.com.au. Use our special discount code of Aces. Just drop Aces at checkout. You get 15% off and free express shipping. There you go.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. And very tidy around the edges, Jez. So
that'd be unreal, mate.
So
they're going to get a workout straight away.
Get a work. Battery life elite, so you won't have to worry about that.
When I tackle the Amazon, you want me to flick through a photo?
A beard and blade before and after. They'd love that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's so good, mate. That's so good. Talk to me about the farm life at the moment. There's a lot of, before I go to the fans' mailbag, when I say fans, the Aces, how many animals are we rocking at the moment?
Well, I have the 7 steers, so they just roam and do their thing and grow and keep me paddocks down. I've got a dog and a cat. The cat was a bit of a wild cat, and it's just been dropped off, and we sort of, its name's Caddy, Poppy, who I touched on earlier, called it Caddy. So it's it's actually booked into the vet to get the agates knocked off as well, because it's just roaming now. Like, it's just out there on the prowl, looking for a, couple of females, not too dissimilar to yourself there, Tommy boy. But he's like ends up. We're actually going to put the Apple Air tag on its collar and see where it goes, because it just goes,
just darts around,
and then like 5 days later comes back. Like, I'm talking like proper missions, but they always know where home is. Anyway, so he's going in to get the snip. We got the dog Billy. Everyone knows about Billy, but I actually got the trailer on the back as we sort of speak this. I'm heading down Gippsland to pick up some sheep. So we got 12 or 13 coming today, and then another 8 in about a month's time. So gonna have the lambs flowing, mate. Come sort of midwinter. A lot of that's when the lambs.
I found out this on the golf course yesterday, and I was too scared to ask. But I said, "You go, man. I'm going to get a ram." And I said, "Oh, where do you get a ram from?" And you said, "Oh, I'm just getting mine off Gumtree." Yeah,
that Gumtree. Yeah, a lot of there's a lot of it's not, you know what it's like, Gumtree. It's either hit or miss a bit. I don't really use it apart from like stock and stuff. People sell them on there. It's a bit of just an easy way to do things, but especially around home, like normally you can get some nice and close to home, but these ones are in Gippsland. I love a drive, you know that. So we'll head down there and have a look to see if they're any good, and throw them on the trailer probably.
And as you were saying, you want a ram it's like a Dawson Simpson. You want a big monster. Strong.
Yeah. So I'll have a look and see how we go. But
little recruiting process.
It's something I want to get into a bit more and do a bit more. I've got 50 acres that I can fill out a lot more, and the 7 steers aren't keeping up with the grass, mate. It just grows and grows and grows. So hopefully we keep up the rain and it keeps doing that. But I need to get a few, and I want to pump out some lambs and fatten them up and that. So it's all part of it. But I want to do a bit more of it after footy. So I'm just learning as I go at the moment.
It's brilliant, mate. It's brilliant. You'd be busy, man. And some questions there from Caitlin Morrison, 27, and H. Routley. They asked, how's Kitty and why is his cat named Caddy? And there you go. You just named it. You just told us why.
Yeah.
It's a good name, Caddy.
Well, it is a good name, Caddy, but you don't I thought it would be a bit more common with kids and stuff, but we didn't name it. Poppy was just like, oh, Caddy. And then I'm like, we called it Caddy as well for like a day, and then it just stuck, So,
yeah. Makes sense.
And it loves it. Thinks it's a dog, that thing, just follows me everywhere.
I'd love to see if you did put the Apple Watch or whatever you want on it, just get the Strava account out and see how many Ks it clocks up.
Yeah.
How many do you reckon it would clock up?
Oh, probably not as much as the dog. The dog just runs and runs and runs, but I'd be just interested to see how far it goes.
How far away from the house.
Yeah, because there's other farms around, other houses all around, but, they're all spread out sort of. Yeah. I reckon it'd go a number of Ks away just to find another cat for sure.
Yeah. Mate, there's a lot of questions here, and thank you to everyone, and please forgive me if I don't read your name out. I'll read out Jakey Kennedy's name here, but there's a lot of questions around when is Outdoor Athlete back? When are we going to see the YouTube channel pumping?
About that last time,
I know.
I think. Geez, I've had a lean spell, have an eye on the Outdoor account. It's sort of, I sort of stopped, I'm probably just playing too much golf if I'm being dead set serious. Like, as soon as you get off the course, you're playing your next round. That's me at the moment. Baby's on the way, And like I said, I've got that many hobbies. I'd like to just, instead of because it's all basically fishing at the moment and a bit of outdoor stuff, but just like tying it in with everything I do would be nice. But it's probably more the if I'm being totally honest, like the making of like going through the footage and clipping it and putting it together,
Editing
process, yeah, that takes like a lot of time when you're not good at it. And like anything, I just learn on the fly. So
we need an editor out in Geelong way to just go down and just film the big fella on the farm. There's a great.
Oh, there's heaps of things that are like, because 2 days before a game, like I'm full like fencing, like full on fencing, like just to the point where it's probably a bit stupid. Like I could not injure myself, but you could tweak a muscle in your back or something. Like it's pretty demanding.
Not the big fella though. You play your best footy off the back of that stuff. Seven against North at Tassie after you did that last time.
Painting for like 12 hours or 6 days.
The property must be in good order.
Yeah, it's getting there. But always plenty to do. So like, it would be interesting if you could film all that stuff, but just finding time to then put it together and get it up. But a lot of people have been getting into me about it, so I need to do something.
There you go. And even Sammy Norton said, when are the fishing videos coming back to Outdoor Athlete? As you said, it's quite hard to fish for you at the moment, isn't it?
It's a little bit of a process because you got to get up early. You want to be on the water early, so you got to go down to Queen's Cliff. I put my boat in there, go around, then out the heads and start fishing, So, it's a little bit of a round trip, but looking forward to getting out there and catching some. I'm thinking about doing it tomorrow. So it's either that or golf, though, as I've mentioned. And I know golf's the quicker, easier option. It's just whether I, decide what one I decide to do.
Someone's asked here, because we know you love your Yeti, Caleb Slotgraph. How much do you love your Yeti and what's your favourite Yeti item?
Oh, mate, I love my Yetis. And thanks to Yeti, too, because they've always looked after me. And I remember, like, I've still got every single item I've ever had in Yeti, like all of them. Some of them look a bit more rugged than others, but they don't break. Unbelievable. Like, I like a hot coffee, extra hot, like not burnt hot.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier.
Yeah, you
hot.
see that? I want it
Who
hot.
wants the hot latte? This bloke.
Yeah. So, and it cools down as soon as you have it in a cup too. Like, give it 2 minutes, it's already lukewarm and I don't like it.
But in a Yeti,
it stays hot. I dead set, like, I've had coffees walking into the G and don't drink it. I'll put it in my locker, and after the game, it's still drinkable. Not like, I wouldn't say it's like hot or cold. It's like lukewarm.
Wow.
But still like drinkable. It's not cold at all.
There you go, the Yeti.
Which people don't believe me, and they're like, oh, it's a little bit expensive. But like, you only need one.
Yeah.
You only need one. You don't need 6 of them getting around because like I said, they don't break. The only thing you can do is lose them, but I love them that much. I don't lose them, mate.
Yeah, you don't lose them, mate. You don't lose the things that you really, really love. What's the next, Nicholas, the nerd? What's the next animal on the farm? Obviously, you just touched on the ones you're picking up today in Gippsland.
Yeah.
But then the next one? Is any horses going to?
No horses.
No
mate.
horses.
No.
Chaos?
I'm thankful Indy doesn't like horses too, so we won't be getting horses, but if we have a little girl, mate, you never know. 7 years in,
Shetland
6,
pony?
7 years in, little sure. Hope not. I'd rather just like Poppy, because she's always at the farm. They spent 2 months with us because they're on the road in their caravan, and I know we've touched on them a bit, but
that's great.
She loves motorbikes and like just wants to go as quick as like you get other kids come and visit and stuff, and they're like too quick. She's like go quicker than you've ever gone before. So. Yeah,
Could be a motorbike.
I'll probably just get them into motorbikes, mate, because my pop said this to me once. A horse, you've got to then when the kid gets sick of it or you get sick of it, you got to still feed it every single day. When you get sick of a motorbike, you don't have to feed it every day. You don't have to give it petrol every day. You just put it in the shed, forget about it until 2 years in. You want to get it back out again, and 2 kicks and away you go.
Yeah,
the horse, you got to feed it every day. So there you go.
It's very wise words from Pop.
Yeah.
Favorite pub in G-Town and surrounds from Valbags 92. It's a good question, and this will be a tough one, being a Geelong favourite. But is there one local pub that you go and just perch up, or is there a few watering holes?
There's a few. We quite Billy's got the Cremorne, so we go down there a bit. After. Especially pre-season, after a big pre-season day, we go down there and have just 2 beers on the way home. That's nice. So we drop in there a bit. It's more so wherever like anyone feels sort of That's probably the most convenient one because it's in Newtown, Newtown Main Street on Paco. There, you just whip in and can whip out, and everyone sort of just lets you do your thing in the corner. But
even a round of golf, there's no better place than having a beer.
That's what I like that. We're I'm a member at the Sands in Torquay, and I love sitting up there and you're watching over the driving range and you see some stray balls and you see some good ones. But after 18 holes, mate, there's nothing better than sitting at the 19th.
That is great. Well, especially when you got Dane Crognale hitting bombs off the on a par 3 right angles.
What do you use, driver?
He'll be filthy with us mentioning this.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's. I don't know what he
looked like he hit a driver.
Gun cricketer, so hits the ball well, as you could see.
He's just pulled one over cover or something, or just slap one.
Just slap one through cover. Silly through cover when it's meant to go straight. This is a random one. Coleman goes, "What's your top 3 chocolates in a Cadbury favourites box?" I reckon you'll be all over this.
Yeah, I eat way too much sort of between chocolate and lollies. I love. Does it have to be just chocolate in general or in favourites?
Just the favourite box. Maybe just go your one.
So I don't even know what's in it.
I thought this might have been
flake.
Flake's my favourite.
Yeah, I could easily eat a lot of flake. Just crumbly, isn't it? Like you open it in a cup and it's all on the seat and falls out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's that good. You just could almost lick it off the seat. But I love, what else is in there? There's
you got the crunchies.
I'm glad you mentioned the crunchy because I love crunchy. Crunchy's probably my go-to.
Honeycomb job.
Honeycomb, anything, ice cream, honeycomb. I love honeycomb.
Sweet tooth on you, ain't
Yeah, love honeycomb.
Lollies or chocolates?
I like both so much. Like,
couldn't split them?
Yeah, nah. I couldn't because you know when you eat lollies and you're like, this is unreal, but then you've eaten too much lollies and then it makes you want chocolate next time.
Yeah.
So I always flick between two.
Yeah.
Don't like cherry ripe. My mum does though. She loves it.
Yeah, same here.
Mum and Dad. In and just gets a full
cherry ripe
bar.
I think it's an old school thing. I don't rate them.
This probably might sound weird to a few, but I'm sure there's a couple out there that love them. But you know the peppermint bars? You know they're like, the green, is it peppermint?
Yeah, what's it called?
And people quite often grade it. It's full of like the green crystals.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the name.
It's pepper. Is it? No, I don't know what it is. But
there's like an Aero, which is similar to like a flake. That's peppermint, but it's not that.
They like put it on like chocolate ripple cake and stuff. They grind it up on it and it just sprinkles nicely. It tastes amazing. Pavlovas and stuff people put it on.
My old man.
I could just eat a bar of that. That's really? Unreal. Kit Kat. I know it's not in the favourites box, but.
Yeah, no, the favourite box, I thought that was one of your mates and you just love your favourite box. So I apologise for asking the favourites. You clearly love your crunchy, flake, Kit Kat.
Not so much, cherry ripe.
There you go. Now, mate, I've been really excited about this. We have Milwaukee Tools on board. We've had them for a while now and a big shout out to our friends at Milwaukee. Now, this is the lifestyle power pack,
Have a look at that.
I've been waiting for you to come on because everyone I've had, and no disrespect to the guests, because I fit in that category. We're not as hands-on or as handy. We've probably played too much sport growing up. We haven't had enough time on the farm or with tools. We're not that handy. But if there's a bloke that's handy and knows his way around a tool, especially the best ones in Milwaukee, this is a lifestyle power pack, mate. And as I said, I couldn't be more excited to gift you this as one of our prize packs here for coming on the podcast.
Have a go at it.
Mate, it's got everything in there. And I'd throw it over the top to you so you can have it. But it's pretty heavy, mate. I know you're handy on the tools. Do you need any tools at the moment?
Yeah. You can never have too many tools, on the farm. I'll tell you what, I'll let you know in about a month if they work, and I'm sure they do because I will put it through the ringer,
I know you will.
They're so handy,
I'll let you know what you've got, right? This is what's included. So it's the Milwaukee Lifestyle M12 3-piece power pack.
Yep.
Okay. Basically perfect for camping, fishing, and simply enjoying the outdoors.
Just works, doesn't it?
Oh, mate, I've been saying to them the whole time, outdoor athletes coming on.
That looks
What's
unreal.
included is an M12 6 pruning saw and contractor bag. You get an LED lantern floodlights. So, late night trying to find kitty around the backyard there. You got the compact blower, so you can blow all the leaves out of the bar there you've got at home. You got the chargers. You got 6 AMP batteries and a charger.
Yeah.
Mate, all of that resting, that's about valued at about $720, all in that box.
That is unreal.
And if you want any more tools.
The battery operated stuff these days are just next level. So easy,
Exactly.
My old man just always says, because we've done a lot of renovating, he helps me out. He's like, back in my day, I used to, they got to plug in the cords to every power drill and device, and you're walking around. It's half dangerous when you think about it. You're cutting up stuff and there's just cables, live cables. So the battery stuff's unreal.
That's what they reckon. And I've spoken to a lot of people that are so jealous that, mate, I want one of those big lifestyle packs from Milwaukee. The batteries, they're so valuable.
Yeah,
so you get a few of them in there.
Yep.
Mate, we always ask who would be the Milwaukee Tools handiest player that you play with, besides from yourself? Who's someone that's just very handy on the tools?
Back in the day, it was always Dawson Simpson. Reece Stanley does a lot of, because he's, another farmer just another 5-10 minutes further on than me. So he's always out, on the tools doing different things as well. So he's pretty handy. Big Hawk's the same, He's got 150 odd acres that he's got to look after, and he's got a heap of Angus heifers running around. But yeah, I guess the blokes that are sort of out of town a bit, you got to keep your backyard in good nick, otherwise it does look like the Amazon after a couple of months. But yeah, I'd say those two probably.
That's great. Well, we'll have to get them on the potty so they can get themselves a lifestyle power pack. What about, I always ask, who would be the Milwaukee tool? So, but I tweak the tool, because a tool traditionally means, he's a flog or he's a bit of a peanut.
Yeah.
I like the tool. I think this is someone in the locker room who doesn't take themselves too seriously. They have a joke. They really fire up the locker room. Who's that bloke where you could almost go, he's just, he's driven to outperform. He's a bit like a Milwaukee Tool. He's just up and about, always going.
Oh, I'm hopeless with this stuff where you got to you know what I mean?
Who's the Energizer Bunny?
The Energizer Bunny. Lukey Dalhouse last year was just it's the first time I've been with him, and he was next level at doing that stuff. The younger boys, I think you feed off the younger boys when it comes to that sort of stuff. And I used to be a younger boy, but now I'm about to tick over 30. It's just getting all too scary for me. And the end feels like it's getting closer and closer, Tommy. But I feed off the younger boys, and they're always, just running amok. Big DK, Degoni, and those boys.
That's great.
Yeah, I'd say those. There's a whole crew of them, so I can't really put.
It's good.
I can't really nail it down to one, but
common theme here as well with the young boys. They just provide the energy for it's always been the way.
I will say, an older fella, big Segs, Jonathan Segler, he is probably right up there with one of the handiest as well.
Yeah.
So there's one that's just slipped past the radar. But going back a question, he's got a farm as well up towards like Yarrawonga way. It's probably a bit more east than Yarrawonga, but up towards Bright sort of general direction. And he's very handy, but he also gets the fellas up too. Just loves a yarn, and
that's brilliant.
Talks more farming than footy,
which you love,
which I love.
You love.
Nothing better at training and having a yarn.
Well, there you go. Thank you,
Thank
Jez.
you very much,
But big shout out to Milwaukee Tools for providing the goods again. So simply head online to MilwaukeeTools.com.au. Check it out if you want the lifestyle power pack and all the rest of their tools. Mate, everyone listening, stay with us. We've got some cool, we've got one massive announcement after the Rixies, because we know where you're going to retire, but I've got another treat for you, mate. You had all the boys in the grand final parade in the Rix.
What do you call that?
We've got a brand new,
have a look at that.
Brand new Melrose dark green crystal.
There you go. The dark green crystal.
They've just rocked up.
Look.
They're unbelievable, and you've got more pairs.
Look at that.
Than I have, I think. Look at that. I don't think you do.
I actually cleaned out the baby room the other day because I had to make a bit of room because there's so much stuff, and it's like it was my sort of room that just I had bits and pieces everywhere, and I found a collection of these Rixies. I'll tell you what, I wear them every day. I have the off the top of my head, it's a tough. It's sort of the color of my hat. It's a nice like clear sort of like.
Yeah, the torque.
They're in
maybe.
the car. They're in the car. I should have worn them at golf yesterday. I would have really got you up.
You might have
but,
won.
Yeah, I might have won. It might have been the difference. But no, that was I wear them every single day, mate. I love them. So
that's great to
the
hear,
greens
mate.
are good. I don't have a pair of greens.
Yeah,
so
these
they're
are
gonna
brand new colour, the dark green crystal,
Yep.
and that's why I wanted to get the big fella in them because I know you've got all the Orbits, all the Grands, the Melrose. You've even got the Calvins. I've seen you rocking the Calvin champagnes on the farm.
Yep.
These are a little bit different, so it's good.
They're nice. They're beautiful, mate. I'll be able to hand select a real prime ram with these on today, I reckon.
I hope that you see clearly. You identify the Dawson Simpson type of a ram and you bring it back in you got the trailer and everything here. So
you got the whole lot of you, mate. So
straight it to the farm. We know where you're going to retire, so we don't have to ask the Rixon retirement question, but they're the brand new Rixies. If you want to look like Jez in the Melrose, we have the Aces code. It's always on. 20% off free express shipping for all of you. Now, this is the exciting moment. Mate, you are a good man. We love giving back to the Aces, and when you had such a good year last year, we thought we'd do something special. We had so much luck after the podcast. We thought, well, if it brings you any more luck, what we should do is get you back on, talk about it, and we're going to get you to sign this and give it away to one of the Aces. What we're going to do is, and I can't thank you enough for getting involved in this one. So everyone out there, we know how much you love Jezza. I've had about 80 questions roll in for today. So again, thank you to everyone that has written in to the Aces about asking you a question. We can't thank them enough. Jez, what we're going to do to give back is you're obviously going to sign this and we're going to give it away to one of the Aces that's on a competition on Instagram. So if you're listening to this podcast, this competition will go live once the podcast's out. We'll put it up. We're going to put it up for a week. And then what I'm going to get you to do is select the winner based upon the comments. They're going to tag their mate and all the rest of it, but you just go down there and say, Tommy boy, I like this guy. So, mate, thanks so much, and no really worries, appreciate you giving back to all of us.
Thank you very much, mate. Happy to do so.
Last question, 2023.
I might add that's only on the that little logo's. See, that's gold. That's not normally gold. That's only gold when you win the flag.
Oh,
so did you know that on AFL? I didn't know this.
No,
so like when Melbourne won, their logo the next year was gold as well.
Oh, I was going to say,
and then
it looks
the year
before,
before,
it looked like a fakie. I thought you got one from Bali.
Fake, mate. I
thought you got it from Bali.
Yeah. Thanks for Indy's uncles hooked me up in Bali for that one. But that's actually true. So I didn't know that. But
so the cameras can see. Yeah,
it's a bit hard to see in there. But the logo just around the AFL is gold when you win, and it's got the Premiers 2022 on it. So you get to wear that on all your playing Guernseys for the next season.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I never knew that.
Or until you don't win the next flag.
Yeah.
So.
2023. The only player I can think of that's not there is Selwood. He's going to be a massive loss, but you got the next young crew coming through. Yeah. How excited are you? Is there any names out there for
I think we'll see a huge year from like Maxi Holmes after he was injured for grand final, but he was just really important cog to the system, last year, and he has had a really, really good preseason. I think Tanner, who's come from the Giants, he is like, I'm not going to say he's like Joel Sell, like, he's got traits that Joel just loves a hard ball, loves a tackle, just really shows a lot when he's around the footy. We're going to see some good midfield minutes from him, I reckon.
Not another Giants gem they've just let go there, Jezza, is it?
I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, we'll just wait and see how he goes. But he's been going well. I'm excited to see. There's heaps of young boys coming through, and there always is. It's funny that like even DK down back, like it's like he's not young anymore because he's won a flag. But he's 21. He just had his 21st, like.
So young.
They're so young. He's got 10, 12, 13 years left in front of him if he wants it. So he'll keep ticking along. But so many young ones coming through, mate. Everyone talks about how old we are, but there's always a nice balance and they do it well down there.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. Well, there you go. You've got your little insight there from the great man who sees the field beautifully. Won't be tackling as much this year, but he's sitting up full forward next to the Hawk when he returns. Well, mate, all the best for the year. All the best with your golf game. Hopefully you can just get that putt right at the end of the game.
I just tugged that one. You did send me the video too. I'll have to
that was
live with that one
disrespectful, actually. I apologise. I got a handicap at 20 23 and I'm sending videos. What is yours? What is your handicap? 8?
8 yesterday it was, yeah. So
and you'll get that down to 4.
I want to get it down to low single figures, but it's not good for the comp rounds because it's hard to win a comp when you're off that. But I love like having something to work towards, and that's my little,
What is the number? 4? Lower.
That I want to get to.
Yeah,
I'd love to get to 3. I don't know why. 3 is just a nice number, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 is just, you're playing solid golf if you're single figures for sure, but it's about like around the greens where I need to sharpen the sword a bit, mate. So it's going to be hard with the little one on the way though. So
you might be putting more than that. So you might actually work on the short game.
Improve, yeah.
Maybe put a little.
But I can hit out the farm whenever, so yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, mate.
Works well.
Thank you again.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate you coming on, and thank you for this jersey giveaway. That'll be special. Not every day you get a premiership full forward superstar signing a jersey and then giving it away. All right, mate, we better wrap this up because I think Indy's walking around at the back there, and I want to get you to turn that phone on.
I'm going to flick it on now just to see if we might have had a boy or a girl in this last hour, mate.
Well, congratulations, mate.
If I have. Gee whiz, wouldn't that be a story? We're on here talking about Milwaukee's and the new shaver pack and the Sunnies and Indies out there just with a. I don't even want to talk about it because it could be happening.
Yeah, you could. We'll get you in
Thanks
trouble.
for having me on, mate. I appreciate it as always.
Anytime. Thanks for listening to another episode of Tommy Talks. We literally can't thank you enough for all your support. Speaking of support, our great mates Milwaukee Tools. Without yous, we wouldn't be here. Milwaukee Outdoor Power Equipment gives you the power to clear, cut and maintain the outdoors without the petrol headaches. No pull starts, no engine maintenance, no mixing petrol and oil. Book a test drive now at milwaukeetools.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Beard and Blade, Australia's largest online men's grooming company. With over 500,000 satisfied customers and their extensive range of products, from razors, beard oils and shaving creams to skincare and hairstyling products, making them your one-stop shop for all your manly grooming needs. Make the switch today to Beard and Blade.